What's going on, everyone? So today's the next day after that rain day. Owning a business is not always easy. It's not always going to be, everything's going to work out great. As you could tell, I kind of have this truck ripped apart right now. I'm full of oil and grease and everything. The truck started having a miss, and all the research and everything I was doing led to an ICP sensor. It's injection control pressure sensor. That ended up not being it. I ended up ripping a lot more apart on this thing. I don't always know everything that I'm doing, but I've been fortunate enough in my life that I have a lot of people connections and everything. This last video I just posted with Eric, I noticed there was a good amount of hate in the comments about him. The thing I gotta say about that is that's not what this channel is going to be about. Something that you can't knock from Eric is that he tries. He really tries. I've been fortunate in my life that I've been around a lot of great people and made a lot of great connections. So today, for example, I was able to phone a friend, really, and kind of help me pinpoint what was going on with this. What ended up being the problem was there's an injector wiring harness on this underneath the valve cover. That wiring harness fell apart, so I would have started videoing this video a little bit sooner, but that would have been a lot of editing. I'm not always cool and collective like the videos may seem, or which we all get like that, but definitely something that I try to work on is to be, a good person, kind of keep my words to myself. But yeah, we'll take you along. We'll kind of show you the process of putting this thing back together, and then once we get this thing back together, we got some welding to go do for a friend. All right, so yeah, these trucks aren't too bad to work on, but I'm gonna show you a little bit of what I had going on here. I put the valve cover back on temporarily, just 2 bolts really, because I wanted to fire the truck back up, see if that was what it was. When I did pull the valve cover off, I noticed that the clip was halfway on. So, fortunately I was able to figure that out. This wasn't a bad fix to do. It was just more of a time-consuming thing, which it is what it is. But here's that. I don't know if you guys can see it, but this clip right here, it came undone, and this is your injector wiring harness right here, which, not too bad to do. But like I said, I was able to phone a friend, and he was able to help me, kind of lead me in the right direction, which was pretty nice. Generally I don't want my videos to just be a lot of talk, but figured this would be a good one to kind of show you guys that, having a business, it's not always going to be great. There's a lot of difficulties that you definitely deal with. This was definitely one of them when I went to fire up the truck today, and it was running with a heavy mess. Definitely was not something that I was looking forward to working on, but I knew dang well if I took this truck into a shop, I wouldn't have it for a couple days, and I need this truck badly. I have more than one, obviously, but I need this truck for doing some mulch here coming up. Do I know all the torque specs for these? No, not even a little bit. I'm going to use the German torque spec, good and tight. But yeah, we'll get this done. I just threaded in all the bolts here and studs. Honestly, this really wasn't really too bad of a project. There is one bolt in the back valve, on the valve cover, that kind of was a pain to get to. But luckily, one of my neighbors, he had a universal that I was able to use to reach back there and get. But other than that, it wasn't too terrible. Like I said, the biggest thing about this project was that I didn't really know where to look. for what the problem was. I knew it wasn't running right, and the research that I did, like I said, led to an ICP, which I threw in there, which was not cheap. That was a $270 part, but that was the easiest thing to get to first, so I figured I'd start there. Another thing was that I put a tuner in this truck, and I didn't know if the tuner had something to do with this or what, so I actually pulled that out and was trying to figure that out as well, and ended up not being that, obviously. So, but you know, that's one of the things that's nice, that you know, being around, like growing up around this stuff, I was able to, you know, use my connections and make this happen. Good and tight. You know, maybe later on I'll, after I drive it a little bit, I'll kind of check everything again. But I don't know. I think we're in the clear. Knock on wood. Not that I have any around me, but it is what it is. Another thing that's nice is having a service truck with all your tools with you. Something else I've noticed with doing this YouTube is that I say and whatever else very often. I want you guys to try strapping a GoPro to your head, or try talking to the GoPro and try focusing on what you're trying to do. It's harder than it looks. Alright guys, we're just about wrapping this thing up. I don't know if my big fat head's in the way, but gotta tighten this band clamp back up on this charge pipe here. And like I said, honestly, it wasn't too bad of a project to do. It looks overwhelming when you first start, the amount of stuff you gotta pull off. But something I gotta say is, it's just all nuts and bolts, right? If you got a couple extra left over, it's no big deal. Kidding. But yeah, let's get this thing put back together. And I believe that's it. Oh, I gotta do these coolant hoses here yet. Move these out of the way. But yeah, if any of you guys have one of these 7.3s, definitely something to look at. If it starts, in my case, it started up fine, but then man, it did not have any power at all. But yeah, coolant clamps, I think we're good. Let's put all these tools away. Make sure you do that, especially you kids using your dad's tools. Nothing more that's irritating than when you go in your toolbox and the tools aren't there. Yes, I put my 10mm back. I don't have a deep well. That one I did not put back. Or the 10, or the 12, or 11. But hey, we're not all perfect, right? Alright, well, yeah, let's get these cords wrapped up. These cords right here, and this thing right here, it's for the tuner. This, like I said earlier, I pulled the tuner out of this thing thinking maybe I had a bad connection or whatever, because it's actually it's a Hydra tuner, which it's actually a computer chip that goes into the computer of the truck, which was nerve-wracking in itself to put it in there. Anytime I play with the computer, it's a 50-50 shot, I can tell you that, if it's going to be alive after I touch it. But anyways, I put that in there, worked. This Hydra tuner, I'm actually very impressed with it, with what it's done to this truck. When I first bought this truck and realized how slow it was, I was like, man, I made a bad purchase buying this truck. But anyways, I found a tuner for it, and it was able to wake this thing up and meet my standards of a vehicle. Those standards are, it should at least get up to freeway speed by the time I'm at the end of an on-ramp. So yeah, let's get these all put back and whatever. I just had them all zip tied back here onto the emergency brake cable, kind of out of sight, out of mind. Man, I used a zip tie the wrong way. Flip it around there. But yeah, like I said, I'm very impressed with this tuner. I would definitely recommend it if any of you guys have a 7.3 or are looking to put it on. But and then this right here is you can switch on the fly. To be honest with you guys, I have this thing set up in the 100 horsepower tow tune. It's no race truck or anything, but I don't need it to be a race truck. I have my Duramax for that, which I'll be showing you guys that on another video. But all right, let's that's about it for down here. I gotta put this lower dash panel in, and yeah. All right, let's start this thing up and make sure everything's still working the way it should be. Yes, the sweet sound of a 7.3 Power Stroke. Check engine light's gone, door ajar. That's obviously the door's open, I'm standing next to it. But check engine light's gone, the thing runs like a top again. All right guys, truck's back on the road. Let's go do this welding. Excavator bucket crack, so we're gonna go take care of that, and that's gonna probably end off our day here. All right, so we just got here. Oh yeah, that's a pretty good crack in this thing. If you guys can see that was this whole seam right here. What I'll do is I'll grind this out, grind the backside out, put a couple passes in there. I'm gonna start this machine up and get it up in the air and make it a little bit easier to work with. Yeah, that's a pretty good working height. We'll do the bottom first, and then we'll work our way into the inside of the bucket. So, all right. This machine right here, it's made me a lot of money. A lot of fun times with this. Actually, this machine right here, I learned how to weld on. This is my grandpa's. He bought it, and this is actually what he taught me how to weld on. He was a steam fitter by trade, so welding was definitely something that he did regularly. All right, well, we got this thing all set up. Let's get the welder fired up and start grinding those cracks out. Oh boy. All right, let's give this another try. Hard doing this with one hand. Alright, so that's all ground out. The best way to do this would be to carbon arc that. I just don't have that, so I just drive a grinding wheel down there and kind of call it good. So let's get to welding. All right, so kind of goobered up the tip here. Let's cut this off, and luckily I carry more tips in the truck with me. Oh boy, wow. I don't know if that one's coming off. There it is. All right, so there it is. Probably a little close to the camera, but yeah. Let's do that. This thing's junk. Luckily I carry a whole bag of these things in the truck with me for just in case. Put the new one on, wires sticking through, give her again. All right, let's get this thing flipped over and get the inside of the bucket taken care of. It's the first time I've ever had that happen. That could have been a close one. Yeah. Well, anyways, it's ready for welding. Alright guys, well, the inside of this bucket's welded. I'm probably going to run one more pass on it, kind of like in this area right here, you know, where the main force of the bucket is. One or two more passes, then I'll get this thing wrapped up, get the truck cleaned up, and then probably go home, eat dinner. It's a little after 7 right now. Alright guys, that's going to be the end of this video. I just want to give a quick shout out to Ryan from Victory Outdoor Services, Eric from Easy E Concrete, and all of you guys. I'm truly humbled by how many of you guys jumped over to my channel as soon as Eric made a post. Something that I want to kind of end this video off with is certain people are put in your life for certain reasons, and something definitely to remember. Don't ever forget those people. Yeah, I don't know what else to say, but I wouldn't be where I am right now without them. All I gotta say is put your nose down and just keep working. Eventually everything will come to life. For the longest time I was working and it just didn't seem like anything was happening. Not saying that I'm, you know, perfect in any means or have everything that I want, but the hard work is starting to kind of show. The equipment that I have now, the people that I have in my life, truly humbled by that. But yeah, see you guys on the next one.